Good morning. It's so early. I'm heading out to the airport. Today is my flight to Mexico. This is the beginning of my 1 month travel in South America. Let's press the elevator. Hubby will be staying here in BGC until the next 2 weeks and it will follow. Let's go. I arrived early today, so they're just letting in everyone to check in. Now I'm on the baggage drop queue. Let's see how fast this will be. Let's see. So I just got here at the lounge. I just finished checking in and it all went well. I got here very early. But when I got here, there was a queue already outside of the counter. There were a lot of people. And then it was kind of messy because there was just one line. No one was asking who did online check-in or who did not. So I ended up being in the line of those who did not check in online. So good thing I realized they put me on the baggage drop line, which is faster. So I got checked in quickly. They were very strict on the per piece luggage weight. So I had to transfer some stuff, but yeah, they were nice enough to accommodate me. And then I was a little nervous about the immigration as always, but it was very smooth. There was no line on the OFW or overseas Filipino worker lane. Usually it's a long line there, but again, it all depends on what flights are available on that day. It was very smooth. They asked me a few questions only. So it's already 7:45 a.m. So I'm just here at the lounge waiting and I'm gonna do a little work. It will be a flight from Manila to Tokyo, and then I have less than 2-hour layover in Narita in Tokyo, and then it's going to be a long flight from Tokyo to Mexico City. I hope everything will go smooth on this flight. Cross my fingers. I'm actually in front of my plane. And there's our plane. There's no people here at the lounge. I think there were just 2 of us. So yeah, gonna call hubby now. Just boarded now. It's been 3 hours, just 3 hours. Still have 10 hours. Just arrived here in Tokyo. Now going to my connecting flight. So I'm here now on my connecting flight. I don't see many passengers. Maybe it's not gonna be full, but let's see. Maybe it will arrive later. But I only have 2 hours of layover here. Let me just sit down. So the flight was very, very smooth. I think that's one of the smoothest flight I ever had. I always expect that it's gonna be bumpy, but thankfully it was smooth. So here's to hoping that the second leg, which is the longest of the 2, would be as smooth also, and hoping that there will be no problem when I arrive in Mexico City. I need to connect and tell hubby that I'm already here in Japan. Japanese hot dog. I got the cheddar one. Medyo maasim na siya. Pero okay na pang laman ng tiyan. So in an hour, we'll be boarding na. Kain muna tayo. Boarding na. Time to go to Mexico. Here we go. See you, Mexico. Last leg of the flight. Here we go, Mexico. Just an hour away from Mexico City. Last leg, last hour. here now in Mexico City and I feel overwhelmed. What? Grabe. So I'm heading now to my taxi, heading to my Airbnb. Doon na ako mag-vlog. Na-overwhelmed pa ako. They said I need to go to number 9. So I'm now here on my taxi. Originally I decided to take an Uber, but it's quite overwhelming inside, so I decided to make my life easy. So I just followed the recommendation that was given to me, so I just took a taxi. And now it's raining. What? I just got outside of the airport. Heading now to my Airbnb. Oh my god, it's raining. I hope it's not raining there because I have to figure out also how to enter to the unit. I got the instruction already from the owner of the unit, but let's see. See if it will work. Okay, it worked. Okay. Here's the elevator. It's just me. It's here. Let's try. Oh, it's open. Okay. Go over here. Okay, that's the elevator. Now where's the unit? It's number 7. Okay, over there. So I just got in the room. So this is the unit that I booked in Airbnb here in Mexico City. It's pretty much complete. When you enter, this is the dining table. There's a sink. It's a little bit high. There's mirror. There's cooker, fridge, washing machine, microwave, and some utensils. And then couch. Then there's that view. Hello view. Nothing too special. But yeah, I like the mood. There's a mirror. There's an access to the toilet. And here's the bedroom. This is the reason why I booked this. It's because of the design and the concept. I hope the pillow is okay. It's too soft. Oh, they left me some candies. I have a problem. My pillows are soft. Then there's the TV. I think that's the heater. I'm not sure. And there's an access to the toilet also. You have that shower. Bidet, bidet, bidet. Is there a bidet? No bidet. Okay. This will do. Okay. Let's settle in. So I'm going out to find some dinner and to get some water. No choice but to do this. It's so cold and sarap. Good morning from Mexico City. Okay, so yesterday when I arrived, I wasn't able to do anything. What? So the first thing I did was to unpack my stuff and then went straight to the shower. Took a bath. I feel so dirty after that very, very long flight. After that, I just lost all the energy. I went straight to bed. And then I realized after chatting with hubby that I was too thirsty. And this unit doesn't have any water. It was a struggle because, you know, I was already in my pajamas. What? And my hair is already messed up by the pillow. So I was contemplating on if I need to go out, buy water, have dinner, or just go straight to bed. But hubby convinced me that I really need to get water. I really need to replenish my body. I really need to hydrate myself. So I had to fix myself and I went out. So I checked out Zona Rosa. It's a popular tourist street. They have a public, it's not public market, but they have some vendors on the street selling in the evening. And the street is very popular with a lot of restaurants and bars. And the only reason why I booked the Airbnb unit here is so that it's more convenient for me if I want to eat or to feel safe that there are many people around. So I just went out, I strolled a little bit, took a few videos only because I'm not too sure yet how safe it is, you know, as you get a lot of information online, so you can only rely on that. So I'm still feeling the city. So I went to Burger King and this is the clip I took. Okay, so please don't judge me. This is going to be my first meal here in Mexico City. I'm eating at Burger King. The problem is it's quite overwhelming. I'm gonna tell it later. So it's still overwhelming as of now. So I'm just looking for something that I am familiar with. And I know because I'm really, really hungry and I need to eat and I need to rest. I'm so tired. Grabe. That was a long travel. Anyways, let me eat first. So yeah, I know Mexican food is popular in the world and I'm already in Mexico. I have all the access to all Mexican food. It's just that it's so overwhelming on my first day. So let me go back to how it started or when I arrived here. So after I arrived from a 13-hour flight from Tokyo to Mexico City, the flight from Manila to Tokyo was 4 hours. So it was around 18 hours of flight plus 2 hours of layover in Tokyo. So that's around 20 hours. So I was really, really tired. It was the longest flight I ever had because when I went to the US, it was less than 20 hours. And then when we did the Israel flight back to Bangkok, it was 11 hours only, I think 10 to 11 hours. So this was the longest and I'm not used to it anymore because it's been a while. And I wasn't able to sleep also for some reason. I just can't sleep that long. I was hoping that I could just sleep so that I don't think about the time, but I think I was able to watch 5 movies. What? Yeah, I was that bored and I was trying to edit, but it was so difficult because the seat in front of me was inclined too much and I'm like doing this with my laptop. It was so difficult. So all of my plans on how to kill time and never materialized. Anyways, so when I arrived, so immigration, I know that Mexico City is very strict, especially for tourists. I wasn't too nervous because I'm coming here with the right intention. I have all the documents. It's just that, sometimes you don't know how the officer will play with you or will play on you. So I got into a female officer. She seems to be pleasant when I saw her, but then she was too strict. Our lines took so long because she was really investigating each person going to her. And when it's almost me, I was hearing how she was investigating the reasons of the person in front of me and asking for hotel bookings and everything. I was like, okay, I got it. But I missed to print my one hotel booking. And I was trying to access it on my phone so I can show it to her if she asked me. But then she saw me using my phone and she just screamed like, no using phone. What? And I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, how can I present or prove that I'm really staying in Mexico for business reasons? So I'm like, okay, let's see. So when it was my turn, so it's the same, she was asking a lot of things, but I was able to present all the documents that she was asking. And I have a proper visa, so there was interrogation. But I was able to manage it. And in the end, I was able to enter and pass the immigration. So after that, I already saw my luggage prepared in the baggage claim area because I was one of the last few people because our line really took so long. Yeah, I was like, okay, I got my bag. And then I was looking for my itinerary because I prepared everything, where I will buy a SIM card, where will I withdraw money, how to take Uber, things like that. So I prepared everything. So I have that in my mind. However, when I got out of the baggage area, I felt overwhelmed for some reason. I've been to many airports, I've been to new places, but this is the first time that I'm doing it on my own without hubby. Because hubby is my comfort zone. If it's overwhelming, I wasn't too worried because I have someone with me who can share the same feeling and you don't feel lost and you don't feel like such a loser. Don't know what to do or how to figure out things. But I just felt that after I exited from the baggage area and you're starting hearing language that you don't understand again, and although it's nothing new to me, but it's just that I don't know anything and it feels chaotic. It's not as streamlined compared to other airports. It's like signs everywhere and I'm like, okay, the first thing I need to do is to get a SIM card because I need to have internet. And based on my research, I need to go to the other floor because that's where you can buy a SIM card. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna get there? I was too overwhelmed. my mind was not working. Maybe I was also too tired. And I'm like, screw it. Let me just ask if there are SIM cards on the same floor. With my little Spanish, I asked around and I was brought to 7-Eleven. So I fell in line and then only to find out that they don't have SIM card. I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I was like, okay, maybe they don't accept card. I don't have any cash with me, so I said, let me just look for an ATM. While I was looking for an ATM, I saw an information booth and I asked where I can find SIM card, and I was redirected to a convenience store behind. I just inquired and they have, but they don't accept credit cards. So I started looking for a bank. There was an ATM nearby, so I withdrew some money and I got confused on the conversion, and I was pressing yes. I don't want to be bothered anymore. And so I took my money, went back to the convenience store. They helped me, got my internet for 2 weeks. It was pretty much easy. I paid 666 Mexican pesos for a SIM card with internet for 2 weeks. And I also bought this Lipton because I was too thirsty. So I don't know how much is this. Maybe this is around 18 pesos or 21 pesos. Anyway, so it was very easy. They installed it for me. So I got my internet. So I got my SIM card from Telcel. Based on my research, that's one of the most reliable telecoms here in Mexico. So I got one. And then I was like, okay, I was already contemplating, should I take Uber or should I just take taxi? Because I saw a lot of taxi booths. Should I make it easier and not too complicated, or just explore with Uber so I would know and understand? And then I decided, let's not make things complicated anymore. So I just took a taxi from one of the taxi booths. I paid, how much did I pay? So I paid 265 pesos. It's a little bit confusing here in Mexico because they put $sign in every amount, which means pesos, not dollars. But it's not Mexican dollars, it's Mexican pesos anyways. So I paid 265 pesos. I checked with Uber how much is it from the airport to my Airbnb, and it's around the same amount. So I decided, okay, let's not make it complicated because I don't know which exit should I go. It's not saying on Uber. So I'm like, okay, let's go with taxi. And then after I paid by card. It was a very easy transaction. They gave me this white paper and they said to proceed to gate number 9 and just show it to some staff there. And I went to gate number 9 and someone assisted me, and my driver was a lady, so it's very nice. It was a very smooth transaction. So I got out of the airport. I was able to finally see the city outside of the airport. And you know what reminded me of how it was? It was like Cebu. They're not hiding the real face of the city. You would really see things. There are other cities where things are not too well presented yet after the airport, because usually airports are on the outskirts of the downtown or the city proper. Unlike Singapore, when you get out of the airport, the city is well presented, but it's Singapore. But I'm just saying that's how I felt after seeing this, how the city was. And it's pretty much interesting because every time I arrive to a new country or a new destination, I try to observe how things are, how the transportation system is, the roads are, how the houses are built, are there any city arts, or how the people look like, how do they dress up, and how do they cross the road, things like you try to understand how the city is structured, and so that you can have an idea for you to adapt to it. It's quite interesting to see in front of your eyes the things that you research. I use Google Map a lot, and I really do a Google Street Map view for me to understand how the street looks like. So seeing how it is as how I saw it from the internet is pretty much interesting. There's that familiarity when I saw things like, oh, I saw that already. Like, this is familiar also. So things like that, quite interesting. There was also traffic. It reminded me of Manila. So I posted on my story. It's like from traffic in Manila to traffic in Mexico City, from M to M. So it's quite ironic and interesting. But it wasn't like full traffic. There were certain parts of the travel where we encountered some traffic jams, and then there are some that it was very open and smooth. Then when you arrive to the city center, that's where you feel the development of the city or of the capital city. You see high-rise buildings, more people, more cars, more establishments. So it's my vibe, I'm a city person. I finally felt the energy because in the beginning, from the airport, I was like, oh, this is Mexico City. And when I got to the city center, it's like, okay, this is the Mexico City I saw on the internet. So I got excited on that. So I finally arrived in Calle Estocolmo 26 or Stockholm Street 26 because that's where the Airbnb is in Zona Rosa. And the lady driver was panicking like, where's the hotel? Where's the hotel? I don't see any hotel here. I'm like, I don't know how to say it because I don't know how to speak Spanish. But I'm saying there's no hotel, you can drop me off here. And I think she got it and then took my bag and she left. I noticed also, instead of saying ciao or goodbye in Spanish, here they just say bye. The immigration officer, after she stamped everything and gave all my documents, she said bye. With that tone, bye. And the lady driver, after I got my bags and I say gracias, muchas gracias, or thank you, she said bye. I was expecting they would say ciao. So I saw the gate of my Airbnb unit, so I was given instruction. It's self-check-in, so I had to get the key and then enter the building. It's quite interesting because I was figuring out where's the elevator. I remembered on her message there's an elevator that I can use. She said stairs or elevator, but when I entered the gate, I was only seeing a mirror and a door and another steel door. I thought it was the wooden door, so I was trying to use my key, but it's not working. Like, oh my god, where's the elevator? I said, okay, there are only two options here, the wooden door or the steel door. So the wooden door is not. Then I tried figuring out the steel door. Then there was a button on the right side. I said, maybe this is the elevator. So I just pressed it, waiting what to happen. And then out of curiosity, I just opened it. And then when I open, it's the elevator. Not the usual elevator that I know. Maybe some of you already know how this elevator is. So it was good for 6 people, but it was very narrow. So I got there, it was on the 3rd floor, and I got to my unit, and there you go. It was pretty interesting also to see the landscape of Mexico City, because I was monitoring our flight. Like what I said, I wasn't able to sleep and I got too tired of watching movies. And so I was watching the route of the plane, and when I finally saw that we're crossing the US land and entering Mexico City, I was expecting that I would see a lot of cities, but it was a rugged terrain, quite interesting. There's a lot of mountains when you enter the northern part of Mexico. Just pretty interesting to know. I thought it was all cities. But yeah, it was pretty interesting to see from above. In terms of people, it's how I imagine them to be, like Mexicans. Although there are Mexicans on the plane that look very different, very white, but they're Mexicans. It's very interesting to see the diversity here. Based on how I saw things last night when I walked around, it's pretty much safe. No one is bothering you, maybe because I also look Mexican. That's my problem. Whenever I go to Southeast Asian countries, everyone thinks I'm from that country. When I went to Myanmar, they thought I'm Burmese. When I went to Indonesia, they thought I'm Indonesian. When I went to... There was one place, I cannot remember, they thought I'm Thai. I'm like, really? I look Thai now? Anyways, so yeah, the weather is cold. It gets cold in the evening, around 17 degrees, and it drops until 12 degrees in the morning. So yeah, so first impression, there's some similarity with the Philippines, how people dress up. They're more of a jeans person. In terms of attire, in terms of the look, brown people also. In terms of currency, it's also called pesos. In terms of food, although I haven't tried any Mexican food, but I know that Mexican people love their meats, same as Filipinos, and they also love their rice, same as Filipinos. And the city structure, quite familiar as well. There are certain parts that are like, Manila. Then there are certain parts like Makati, or not BGC, maybe Makati. Part of the first impression, shocked, overwhelmed, but I know I'm gonna get used to this in the next coming days. Also getting used to the weather, getting used to the language, getting used to the food. It's what makes me excited about this trip, because it's something new again. Like what I said, I always want to explore unfamiliar territories because it gives you so much curiosity. Saudis, and it gives you so much life lessons, exploring cultures, new people to meet. It's so funny because on the plane, it was just the two of us on our area. No one was sitting in the middle. So the other lady, she's pretty. She's Mexican. I was able to talk to her. Not the usual me, but it was good to hear from someone from here and giving me tips about where to go, what to eat, and what to avoid, things like that. It's very nice. I just forgot to ask her name. What? I'm so not used to talking to people when traveling. So far, this solo trip is okay. I'm gonna get used to it. I've always been dreaming of doing a solo trip, but it never happened because hubby is always my comfort zone. I feel safe and feel secure whenever I'm with him when we travel. But I've always wanted to try. This was an opportunity presented to me. Although I do business trips in Southeast Asia, but I'm familiar with Southeast Asia. I've done solo business trips in Vietnam, Malaysia, and other countries in Southeast Asia, but I know the region. So it was not an unfamiliar territory that makes me worried or scared. This one, on the other side of the world, it's really an unfamiliar territory. I'm trying to do it on my own. I'm trying to figure it out on my own. There's no one beside me who's gonna help me on that. If I miss something, I don't have anyone to ask, can you go and run and chase and look? Hubby always do that because he's so game with that. But now I really have to check my stuff. No one is gonna remind me. No one is gonna take care of my laundry, even my food, because Abby is the one helping and taking care of things like that. But it's just for 2 weeks. After that, we're gonna see each other again. Anyway, so that's my first impression of Mexico City. I'm excited to learn more about the city and this country in the next coming days, and will definitely share that experience with you all. Again, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you will continue to watch all the videos that we're gonna create for you. Thank you very much for subscribing. Again, this is James. Will is not here right now, but he will be here soon. All right, till my next video. Bye. Since hindi makatulog, I'll do my morning exercise. First day in Mexico. Let's run.
English o español?
English.
English, okay. Great, you're gonna scan this QR code, okay?
Okay.
And if you want to take photographs, pay 30 pesos at the ticket window.
It's very nice here at Frida Kahlo Museum.
And it's another very nice.
Oh, there's another one there?
No, right here, and just straight ahead on that side, you can see the church.
That's the traditional Mexican art about the dead.